Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, iRacing fans from all around and of all ages, welcome to Tuesday Night Trucks, brought to you by Jason Russo and Pro Automotive. Big shout out there to Jason Russo and Pro Automotive out of Dudley, Massachusetts. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is week one of 15-week series here with KMA Racing. Week one is Dover. Last night at Dover was a rough night as they drove the Xfinity class around. Hopefully they're going to do better out here tonight with the Chevy Silverados and Toyota Tundras. The Monster Mile with a track length of just barely over 1 mile. And I tell you what, folks, it is a monster out here tonight. We're going to be running them again up on a Friday in the Gen 6, the Cup cars, those big old powerful cars. But tonight, we're going to see how they do out here tonight. Great night for racing, 75 degrees on that track, air temp sitting at 65 degrees. Big shout out there to my good friend Jason Russo joining us tonight, owner of Pro Automotive, ASE certified technicians out of Dudley, Massachusetts. Jason Russo taking home position number 3 last night at Dover in the Xfinity class. Travis Browder bringing home a number 2 position, and Ryan Kuhn bringing home that win last night in race 1, week 1 of a 15-week series. Ryan Kuhn did just send me a picture, and due to a situation on his end, will not be joining us. Now, this is a points series, Monday points, Tuesday points, Friday points. Attendance is going to be key, and unfortunately Ryan Kuhn will not be able to make it tonight, so that's definitely no good for Ryan Kuhn. Taking a look at our qualifying order, sitting out there on that P1 position, we do have Travis Browder with a 21.909, side by side with Abe Bowden with a 21.931. Ronald Hartfeld, position 3, with a 21.991. Brad Ream, position 4, with a 22.004, side by side with his teammate Ronald Klein of RTK Motorsports with a 22.031. Tyler Chalk back in position 6th. Edward Bray, position 7 tonight out here representing Black Talon Racing and KMA Racing. Position 8, Ryan Kuhn, not in the field. Position 9, belonging to Mitchell Reeves. Donald Stewart sitting back in that 10th position. Position 11, belonging to Eric Stiles. David Casia, position 12. Paul Palazier starting tonight in position 13, and Lee Staples, the other half of Black Talon Racing, position 14th, not on track yet. Jason Russo, our sponsor for the night, will be taking up 15th position. We also have Fred Hofstetter out there in the field, along with Jacob Trent Bradford, not on grid yet. Gary Whitmer Jr. joining us back in the number 5 in position 19th, and position 20 belonging to Lee Ryerson. John Garrett Potts sitting back in 21st position along with Ben Gear and Danny Rudy. Drivers are beginning to pull out of pit row on this Monster Mile. 100 laps out here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said last night, it was a long night out there at Dover. Hopefully these drivers will have a little bit more luck out here tonight and put on a good show for 100 laps of 2 and 3 wide racing. Travis Browder out on that front spot, sitting side by side with the number 74 of Abe Bowden. Now, we talk a lot about qualifying. Qualifying, it is the smartest thing to do out here at Dover. We're going to have a wreck. We're going to have a big one. There's going to be bumper hooking, scraping, a lot of spin outs. You want to be up here in front and avoid the possibility of getting wrapped up into those types of situations early on. Away we go. Travis Browder leaving the number 74 of Abe Bowden. Travis Browder with an extremely good start out here tonight. Abe Bowden doing all he can to get ahead. Looking like he is going to have some very stiff competition with the number 5 of Ronald Hartfeld and Ronald Klein. Brad Ream, RTK Motorsports side by side. Tyler Chalk and the number 19 Dominoes losing speed down on that inside lane. Brad Ream giving a good run for his money. His teammate, the number 76 of Ronald Klein. Brad Ream started fourth, currently is in fifth position, but keeping a very close eye on Tyler Chalk in the number 19, hot on his heels. They call it the Monster Mile for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. But these drivers tonight so far off to an extremely good start. Abe Bowden getting challenged hard by Ronald Hartfeld for position 2 and 3. Abe Bowden driving the number 74 Skittles. Started second, remains second place, knowing there is a long way to go, 97 more laps, and these drivers have spread out quite considerably early on. Edward Bray, Black Talon Racing, in a very good position, started 7th, currently is in 7th position. Not wanting to get up there and mix it up with the pack as of yet. Dropping back to Eric Stiles in position 8, up 3 from 11. And Dave Acacia, quite a distance off there in position 9, working with Jason Russo in the Pro Automotive Chevy Silverado. Frederick Hofstetter feeling the pressure from the number 40 of Garrett Potts. Garrett Potts in a Toyota Tundra tonight. Garrett Potts coming underneath, side by side there with Fred. And along will follow the number 5 of Gary Whitmer Jr. Now, these drivers have been out here all week, ladies and gentlemen, working very hard to get out here and figure out Dover. Taking a look at the line being ran by Gary Whitmer, staying up there to the wall. Duck down and dive, biting hard down onto the inside, going to attempt to pass on the number 11 Valvoline. Can't make that pass, back up into that higher groove. And already on that track, ladies and gentlemen, you're seeing the rubber being laid down. What a line. Gary Whitmer running on lap 8 of 100. Gary Whitmer driving the official KMA TV truck, getting up there to the rear end of Frederick Hofstetter. Frederick Hofstetter started 17th, already up there to position 11. Frederick on the move, looking at the number 31 of Paul Pellizier. Started 13th, currently is in 13th position. Unfortunate early caution involving Donald Stewart. It is Dover, ladies and gentlemen, and these trucks will make contact. Unfortunately, in the reseating of my software today, I forgot to utilize my backup button, so I'm going to be scrambling a little bit on this. Nonetheless, that will be the first caution of the night. That will also put Ronald Klein up there in that P1 position as he does head down there into pit row side by side with Donald Stewart. Donald Stewart taking a bit of a licking right there, getting severe damage up onto the rear end. Donald Stewart definitely, without a doubt, needing to get into pit row, driving the number 78 Boston Red Sox bringing out our first caution of the night. 1 lead change. Travis Browder, our pole sitter for the night, sitting back in. Coming out of pit row, sitting back in position 9. Abe Bowden making his way out. Let me get a quick chat in here with Ronald Klein. How about it, Ronald? Got a copy?
Yes, sir. Scott, go ahead.
Alrighty, you're up there in that P1, opting not to go into pit row. How is Dover treating us tonight?
Dover's treating us very well. As long as you don't push the truck too hard, burn off tires, should be a really good race. Meant to pit, to be completely honest, but I was going to be too fast entering, so we're just going to take a gamble, and hopefully we don't fall too far back and can hang here and get in the pits next time.
All right, copy that. I see also are very close to your partner with RTK, Brad Ream. Talk to us a little bit about RTK.
RTK Motorsports is a real-life racing team that I started back in 2013, and started sim racing in December of last year, and brought the team into simulator racing. So Brad Ream would join me, and we're looking for another driver.
All righty, copy that. Good luck to you, and good luck to Brad, and good luck to RTK Motorsports.
Thanks, Scott. Have a great night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, underneath our first caution of the night here at Dover. Ronald Klein, Brad Ream, Edward Bray up to position 3. Eric Stiles, Travis Browder in 5th, dropping those 4 spots to 5th. Abe Bowden sitting in 10th. Jason Russo falling to 8th position. Garrett Potts back in 9th. Donald Stewart, first driver, 1 lap down. Ronald Klein taking his first attempt at a restart at Dover tonight. Restarts are critical at Dover. Brad Ream showing his support for PAD with the logo in the back end of the number 61. People Against Distracted Driving. We're hoping to do a pad race on Sunday, folks, depending upon how things go. But every day, keep in mind PAD, People Against Distracted Driving. Pace car is in. Ronald Klein, side by side with our TK teammate, Brad Ream, and away they go. Gary Whitmer in position 6. Hunting down Travis Browder. Travis Browder under the rear end of Edward Bray, but here comes the number 14 of Jason Russo in the Pro Automotive. Side by side, Edward Bray. Side by side, Gary Whitmer and Travis Browder. Tighter than a hair in a biscuit right there with Travis and Gary. Jason Russo watching this great action. Jason Russo making a run on the number 5 of Gary Whitmer on that outside. Dropping back down to that inside. Very tight on the rear end of Gary Whitmer. Jason Russo making a move on the inside of Gary Whitmer. Gary Whitmer up on that outside lane as Jason does come around and underneath. Gary Whitmer now challenging Jason Russo back onto that spot. A little high up on track. Paul Pellizier coming around, the number 5 of Gary Whitmer. Gary Whitmer not going to give up quite so easily out here tonight. Number 40 of Garrett Potts side by side with Gary Whitmer. Double file action on lap 18 of 100. Drivers still packed pretty close together as they do come around for lap 19. Getting ready to take lap 20. Ronald Klein, our race leader. Travis Browder taking that lead back away from Ronald Klein. Travis Browder knowing what he's doing. He's had a very good week out here. He did take second place last night, but Jason Russo took third place, and Jason Russo making a move on the number 76 of Ronald Klein. Very nice looking truck there on the number 76 of Ronald Klein. Travis Browder, Jason Russo, Ronald Klein positions 1, 2, and 3. Brad Reams sitting back in a very solid number 4 position, showing his support for RTK. Edward Bray and Black Talon Racing, keeping his eye very closely on the number 40 of Garrett Potts. Garrett Potts trying to make a move up there to get around Black Talon Racing's Edward Bray. Checking in with a few of our drivers in the rear of the field. Donald Stewart, first driver a lap down. Got himself a fresh truck. Going to try to make some time back up. But right now he is 1 lap down. Currently in 17th position. Danny Rudy. Dan's top-notch heating and cooling position. Number 16 in the Chevy Silverado tonight. Trying to make a move on Lee Ryerson Jr. Representing New Jersey, Dave Acacia, position 14 tonight in the Dollar General Flex Volt. Started 12th, down to position 14. Ben Gear, position 12th, started 22nd. Things are looking a little bit busy up there in front of Ben Gear. Taking a look at Ronald Hartfeld, trying to work his way around the number 74 of Abe Bowden. Abe Bowden all over the rear end of Gary Whitmer. I tell you what, Gary has been quite a fighter tonight. Abe Bowden racing the rainbow. Ronald Hartfeld with a big move to that inside. Abe Bowden falling directly back in behind. Abe Bowden up to that outside. Pick your lane, gentlemen. Inside, outside, high or low. Both lanes right now doing a great job of holding down the Chevy Silverados and Toyota Tundras. Number 15, Ronald Hartfeld, trying to make a door pass on the number 5 of Gary. Gary Whitmer doing a great job of holding him off. Side by side with Edward Bray and the 0-1 of Eric Stiles. What a move right there by Eric Stiles. Outside, inside, side by side. as he does avoid the number 31 of Paul Pellizier. Paul Pellizier into the wall. Edward Bray going for a little bit of a ride, but Paul Pellizier, distinct damage. Close race in between the number 15 and the number 74. 74 bumping into the 15, the number 15 grabbing hold of it. Starting to get exciting out here, folks. Side by side with Gary Whitmer. Abe Bowden trying to make a move. Abe Bowden side by side with the number 15 of Ronald Hartfeld. Abe Bowden trying to make another move. Abe Bowden to the inside of Paul Pellizier. Gary Whitmer running for his life, trying to stay out of trouble. But here goes Abe Bowden. He has got it dialed in and styled in as he does pile in down to that inside lane. But Paul Pellizier, one more time, trying to make that pass and cannot do it. Abe Bowden all over the number 5 of Gary Whitmer. Abe Bowden racing the Whitmer. Racing for the rainbow. Gary left that door open, and Abe Bowden, he's a-coming knocking. Abe Bowden side by side. Gary Whitmer fighting back. Ladies and gentlemen, slight contact there with the number 74 of Abe Bowden. A big shout out there too. Fans out there at KMA TV, Becky Whitmer and Courtney Potts. Courtney Potts out here representing and rooting on her man, the number 40 of Garrett Potts. But I tell you what, Abe Bowden battling hard here with Gary Whitmer. We are on lap 35 of 100, 64 to go. Gary Whitmer fighting back contact as Abe Bowden comes up, drives Gary Whitmer into that wall. Not too much damage on the number 5 of Gary Whitmer, but lordy, lordy, Abe Bowden over driving it, sliding up, coming into contact with the number 5 of Gary Whitmer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that happened so fast, and I do not have my replay button set to back that up. But I tell you what, we seen it. If you told me, I wouldn't have believed it, but we seen it. A little bit of slide up on the number 74 into the number 5 of Gary Whitmer, bringing out our second caution of the night on lap 37. That'll put Travis Browder one more time into pit row under caution. Garrett Potts entering pit row as well in the Top Gun. Number 40, big shot out there to Courtney, rooting on the number 40 of Garrett Potts. In pit row, that'll put Jason Russo, Brad Ream. Mighty long ride down pit row when you're up there in those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. Ronald Hartfield pulling into his third place position. Bowden in second, Travis Browder in first. Jason Russo, our sponsor for the night. Big shout out there to Pro Automotive ASC certified technicians. Jason Russo driving the official Pro Auto truck. How about it, Jason Russo? Have you got a copy?
I got you, Scott. How you doing tonight?
Doing very good. Admiring the official Pro Automotive truck along with Pro Auto logos. Big shout out there to Pro Automotive for the Tuesday night series, and congratulations last night on bringing home third place in the B class. You're in a good position right now, brother. You obviously know what you're doing at Dover. Talk to me.
I love Dover. It's a really cool track. Setup feels pretty good tonight, and I think we might have a shot at something. We'll see if we can't get this Pro Automotive Chevrolet up front.
Alrighty.
Big shout out to all the guys at KMA and everyone that comes out and watches.
Alrighty, real quick. Now, we've got a very tough season. We're going to be seeing not only Dover, we're going to be seeing Milwaukee, Richmond, Martinsville. I'm scared already. Only one speedway. What are your thoughts on this upcoming, much shorter track series?
I'm not scared at all. I am very excited. It's going to be a really good season. See how it plays out, but I think everyone can keep it under control, keep the cautions low, and get some good green flag racing in here.
All right, so far so good. All right, good luck to you in Pro Automotive.
Thank you.
Jason Russo, representing Pro Automotive. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on lap 39 of 100. Still got a long way to go out here tonight. 2 cautions, totaling out 7 laps. Travis Browder leading 29 laps. Ronald Klein with RTK leading 10 laps. These drivers are already doing a much better job than they did last night. Brad Ream, Ronald Klein having a very good night out here tonight. Eric Stiles in 6th, Abe Bode in position 7. Ronald Hartfield, position 8. Ben Gear, David Casia rounding out our top 10. Danny Rudy, first driver lap down. Drivers lining up to go back to green flag racing. Big gap on that outside lane as drivers do file into formation. Seemed like a little bit of confusion out here. Brad Ream dropping to the rear of the field, possibly due to a penalty. Pace car is in. Travis Browder, Jason Russo, Garrett Potts, Eric Stiles, our top 4. And away goes Travis, and away goes Jason and the number 40. Not so much for Eric and Ronald. I'll tell you what, though, Travis Browder, he is gone, gone, gone. Abe Bode and Ronald Hartfield one more time, dishing it out here to each other on lap 41. Side by side. Number 15 with a big run down in front of the number 74. Becky Whitmer out there was talking just a minute ago about how they were going to wipe one another out. And I tell you what, these 2 drivers right here, very aggressive. Number 15 coming up on 2, Eric Stiles in the 0-1. Side by side with Edward Bray, Eric Stiles, Paul Pellizier working his way up. Number 20, Dave Acacia, still putting on a good show out here tonight. One, 2, and 3 pretty well spread out. 4th and 5th, Ronald Klein and Ronald Hartfield. Both Ronalds doing a great job out here tonight for 100 laps at Dover. Edward Bray, Abe Bowden, Eric Stiles. Brad Ream in the number 61. He had dropped back underneath that start, right now sitting in position 14. Danny Rudy, first driver, 1 lap down, followed by Gary Whitmer. Gary Whitmer back out on that track. Lucky Dog actually fairly easy to get out here at Dover. Gary Whitmer is racing Danny Rudy for that Lucky Dog position to acquire that Lucky Dog. When that caution does come out, first driver a lap down, suffering no damage, gets that Lucky Dog position, and Gary Whitmer right now in a very good position for it. But so is Danny Rudy. Danny Rudy would obviously be a little bit closer up onto that caution, but in a safe place as well. Brad Ream making a move on. Danny Rudy in the number 23. Chasing down the number 78 of Donald Stewart here on lap 49 of 100. Donald Stewart working on overpassing the number 125 of Lee Ryerson Jr. Donald Stewart, Boston Red Sox fan. But unfortunately, on his backup vehicle, and he's only got one, so he's got to love that Chevy Silverado out here tonight. Travis Browder, nothing but clean air out here in front for this young man, bringing home second place last night. Second only to Ryan Kuhn. Jason Russo, 1.3 seconds back off of Travis Browder with speeds of 169, 171, 174, back down to 154 at the apex, back up hard and heavy onto it, and back topping out at 170, 172 miles per hour on these turns out here on this 1 mile little bitty speedway. Dover, the Monster Mile. John Garrett Potts started 21st, currently is in third place position in a very good spot. Drivers will still be underneath a pit strategy. Looking at about 40 lap fuel run. Nobody out here is going to make it to the end without one more time in pit row. Paul Pellizer, position 9, started 13th. Riding along behind the number 66 of Edward Bray. David Casey, Ben Gear following along. Not in any particular hurry out here tonight. Eric Stiles representing U.S. Army in position 7. Drivers have spread out, and we are coming down to driver against track. Travis Browder in a very good spot out here with a very nice second. Almost a second and a half lead out on Jason Russo. Running lap times of a 22.687. Jason Russo with a 22.707. Jason Russo just a shade slower. Garrett Potts with a 22.719. Travis Browder, the fast man on the track tonight here at Dover. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take one very quick commercial break, and we will be right back with you. back, ladies and gentlemen. Big shout out there to PAD, People Against Distracted Driving. Check us out Sunday for our first Sunday of the month pad race, a week late. People Against Distracted Driving. We are on lap 64 of 100. Travis Browder, larger than charge out here on lap 64. 1.9 second heads of Jason Russo. Jason Russo in position 2. Ronald Klein with RTK, position 3. Position 4, Garrett Potts in position 3, Ronald Klein, position 4, and Ronald Hartfeld, position 5. Put a little bit of pressure on Ronald Klein. Eric Stiles back in position 6. David Casia, Abe Bowden, and Edward Bray, 7, 8, and 9. Paul Pellizier, position 10. RTK Brad Ream, position 11. Ben Gear, position 12. And Donald Stewart, still alive, position 13. Lee Ryerson, position 14. And Gary Whitmer Jr., first driver, lap down. So he is in that lucky dog position. Well, good for Gary Whitmer, making his way around Danny Rudy, 2 laps down. Unfortunately, Frederick Hofstetter, Tyler Chalk, Jacob Trent Bradford, Mitchell Reeves, Dover being a little bit too much of a monster tonight. "16 drivers still battling it out on lap 69 of 100, but it has been all about Travis Browder tonight. Travis completely large and in charge. Gonna have to find my way to the Travis Browder School of Driving and have him show me a few tricks, because I tell you what, he has got it going on tonight. Taking a look at the tire wear and how Travis manipulates his way around this track. Taking a look at that left front suspension. Travis Browder looking like he's getting ready to put another driver a lap down. Riding along shotgun with Travis Browder, learning that line. Travis Browder will be approaching lap traffic. Lap 73 of 100 as he does work his way around the number 5 of Gary Whitmer, putting Gary Whitmer 2 laps down. Jason Russo falling to 3 seconds back. Garrett Potts sitting at 6 seconds back. Garrett Potts will be working his way around the lap traffic, I do believe, of Danny Rudy. Danny Rudy with Dan's Top Notch Heating and Air in the number 23 tonight, 2 laps down. Ronald Klein sitting 7.6 seconds back off of our race leader. Still trying to do his best to hold off Ronald Hartfeld. Ronald and Ronald both working their way around the number 23 of Danny Rudy. Ronald Hartfeld giving Ronald Klein everything he's got, but just does not seem to be able to work his way around the number 76 of Ronald Klein. Ronald definitely leaving that inside door open and shutting it at the last minute. Ronald Hartfield with a lap time of a 23.182. Just cannot quite get her done, but he's got 23 more laps to keep right on trying. Edward Bray started 7th, currently is in 10th position. Black Talon Racing, very nice looking truck right there. Jason Russo taking the lead tonight, leading his second lap of the night. I'm not so sure that he has yet taken that trip into pit row, though, but that will put Jason Russo up there in first position. Ronald Klein making his way to second. Ronald Hartfield in third. That would tell me that Travis Browder has made his way in and out of pit row. Travis Browder dropping one lap down due to green flag pit stop. So that should tell me that Jason Russo will be going into pit row momentarily. Ronald Klein and Ronald Hartfield expected pit stops as well. 20 laps to go here at Dover with a 22 second lap average, 23 seconds. We're looking at just under 6 minutes. Nope, about 9 minutes. About 9 minutes for these drivers to get it done tonight. But I tell you what, only 2 cautions out here tonight. In 81 laps of racing, green flag pit stops have developed. We're anticipating a couple of more to come very soon. Jason Russo, Ronald Klein, Ronald Hartfield still trying to make a move on. Ronald Klein, David Casia, position 4. David Casia trying to work his way around Ronald. Ronald trying to work his way around Ronald. And Dave down to that inside. Dave making a move around Ronald in the number 15, setting his sights on Ronald in the number 76, representing RTK. Now notice that deep banking right there as we do roll around this corner. Ronald leaving that door open. David Casey side by side. That's possibly going to give the number 15 a bit of a run. Ronald has to stay up. That door is open. Abe Bowden down on the apron. Camera staying on too. David Casey, as he does work his way around Ronald, and we're back to Ronald on Ronald action here on lap 84 of 100. Exciting night out here, folks. That will move David Casey up to position 2. Jason Russo still in position 1. Not sure about the pit strategy on Jason Russo, but he is still trucking along with a 7-second lead on Dave and almost an 8-second lead on Ronald and the 0-1 of Eric Stiles. But Eric Stiles is 2 laps down, along with the number 40 of Garrett Potts, 2 laps down as well. So Ronald Klein not even sweating those 2 trucks that just passed him. They're on a different race, but here comes the number 15 of Ronald Hartfield. Thought he was going to take it. Ronald Klein back onto that throttle. I'm thinking Ronald Klein is toying with the number 15. Just about every time that 15 gets that jump, that door closes. Garrett Potts in 3 wide activity with David Casey, and David Casey in second place, letting those lap traffic drivers bust their way through this field, obviously on better tires. Jason Russo coming around the number 66 of Edward Bray. Edward Bray 1 lap down. Jason Russo definitely stretching that fuel mileage out here tonight. Lap 88 of 100. Lap 89, 11 to go. 3 lead changes, 2 cautions, totaling 8 laps. Now, the only drivers that have led out here tonight is Travis Browder leading 67, 1 lap down. Jason Russo leading 12. Ronald Klein leading 10. Ronald Klein in position 4th. Jason Russo working his way around lap traffic, preferring that inside lane, making it stick out here tonight as he works his way around the number 31 of Paul Pellizer. Paul Pellizer, first driver, 1 lap down. Hey, big shout out there to Gearhead Paint Shop. These beautiful looking KMA TV trucks were brought to you by Gearhead Paint Shop, Ted Ebenheiser. Jason Russo still not going into pit row. He may possibly have enough fuel, folks. Maybe a last-minute splash and run. Jason Russo with a 7.8-second lead.
The yellow flag is out.
Caution is out. Drivers are slowing down for the caution. 3 cautions, late caution. That is going to be a game changer. Alrighty, folks, I will have my replay button set up and activated by Friday night, I promise. So unfortunately, I can't tell you exactly what happened out here, but all the cars are driving around. So I'm thinking one driver, possibly a single truck spin out. Jason Russo opting to stay out. That will put Paul Pellizer in that lucky dog position. And away goes Paul Pellizer taking that lucky dog position. That'll put Paul back up onto that lead lap. Jason Russo, position 1. Ronald Hartfeld in position 2. David Casia in position 3. I tell you what, folks. They didn't tell me the exact number of cautions last night. I was scared to ask, but it was a bunch. That's what I was told. If bunch is a number, I think that comes after a lot. And probably before, holy cow. Nonetheless, tonight, what a great race out here. 3 lead changes, 3 cautions, a late caution. We are going to get, I do believe, about a 2-lap shootout. That will put Edward Bray in position 6. He will become the first driver 1 lap down. How about it, Edward Bray? Have you got a copy?
Got a copy, Scott.
Alrighty, I was just telling our fans out there at KMA TV that last night I didn't know what the number of cautions were, but I heard it was a bunch. It's a whole different game out here tonight, Ed. 3 cautions, one of them was late. What's the difference between last night and tonight?
Well, there was from last night to tonight. Evidently, the setup's a little bit different. Everybody's taking their time a little bit and being a little bit more patient than what they were last night.
Alrighty, copy that. I'm very impressed with these drivers out here tonight. You're looking good out there in the Black Talon, KMA Racing, the Reaper. Talk to me a little bit about Black Talon and the truck.
Black Talon is a team with Lee Staples and myself. Black Talon paint job is done by Ted Ebenheiser with Gearhead Paints. And, he's done all our team paints, and give a big shout out to him.
Alrighty, copy that. Now fill us in on the next couple of laps. We're looking at a 3-lap shootout, you think?
Yes, sir. Well, we got new tires, we got old tires. It will be an interesting restart. I'm going to try to hold on to my sixth place here, and I don't know. We'll see what happens.
All righty, you're doing a great job out here. Big shout out to you, Lee Black Talon. Good job, Ed.
Thanks, Scott.
All right, 3-lap shootout, folks. We've got Jason Russo out here on that front line, side by side with the number 15 of Ronald Hartfield, Ronald Klein, in the 4-year anniversary truck, brought to you also by Gearhead Paint Shop. Big shout out there to Ted. The number 31 of Paul Pelizier will be taking up that 4th position as he threads the needle under caution, trying to get up to where he does belong as he does one more time. Slide it up through that center. And contact. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Paul Pelizier, as he was trying to work his way 3 wide past the 0-1 of Eric Stiles being lap traffic, came up just a wee bit early. We had those cameras there on live. Well, that's going to definitely be a game changer there for the number 31 on this final restart. But what he was doing, folks, he was trying to get his spot up there. We're getting back to green flag racing, and he just threaded the needle. And away goes Jason Russo and Ronald Klein and Ronald Hartfeld. Going to be a drag race between these 3 drivers. Ronald Klein side by side with the number 15. Ronald Klein getting a big run on that inside with Jason Russo into the wall. Jason Russo into the other wall. Jason Russo, heartbreaker for Jason Russo, over driving it at the end. That's going to end tonight's race. That is a heartbreaker there for Jason Russo. Drove it too hard, tapped that wall, bounced off into the inside wall, but he should still bring home a 5th place position, I do believe. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to wait for the official results on that, but tentatively, we're looking at Ronald Klein, Ronald Hartfield, and Paul Pelizier. David Casey, possibly a 4th place position, and Jason Russo, possibly position 5, from hero to number 5. And I tell you what, folks, Jason Russo is probably smacking his fist right now on that truck. He had it wrapped up, tied up, signed up, sealed up, and delivered, and overdrove it on his own accord up to that wall. What a heartbreaker, though. But I tell you what, Jason Russo, 3rd place last night, 5th place tonight. I got high hopes out here for him come Friday night, holding down a solid top 5 in 2 tough tracks. Waiting for those official results to come in. Edward Bray, first driver 1 lap down, holding on to position 6. David Casey holding on to position 4. Paul Pelizier, position 3. Ronald Hartfeld, position 2. And I do believe, ladies and gentlemen, Ronald Klein will bring her home tonight at the Monster Mile. Ronald Klein wins it at Dover International Speedway. What a job done out here by Ronald Klein tonight. 5 cautions, 4 lead changes, totaling out 12 laps. Alrighty, let's get a chat in with our 3rd position, Paul Pelizier. How about it, Paul Pelizier? Have you got a copy, sir?
I do, Scott. How are you tonight?
Doing good. I tell you what, we saw what happened to you there as you were threading that needle to get back up there in line there. Talk to us a little bit about what happened, because you got some pretty serious right side damage.
Scott, it looked like somebody wrecked me. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, a copy of that nonetheless. You brought home a very solid 3rd place tonight, right side damage and all. Talk to me about Dover.
Fun track, a lot of work. Little tired right now. Hey, I just want to mention, Scott, three kicking asphalt drivers in this race tonight, and three in the top five.
Alrighty, and tell us who they are and what is Kicking Asphalt.
Kicking Asphalt is a sub team of KMA, and David Acacia and Jason Russo were in the race tonight with me, and we all did well. I thought Jason had it won, and he made a mistake there on the last lap or so.
Yes, we had cameras on Jason, unfortunately. Drove it over a little hard, hitting that wall, but still taking home a very solid 5 position. So good job to Kicking Asphalt, and good job to you, Paul, bringing home number 3.
Thank you, Scott.
Bringing home that number 2 position is Ronald Hartfeld. How about it, Ronald Hartfeld? Have you got a copy?
Yes, Scott.
All righty, number 2 tonight. Good job. Talk to me about your adventure out here at the Monster Mile.
We had it dialed in tonight, Scott, and we were following Ronald Klein there and getting some good fuel mileage and had a ball.
All righty, I tell you what, you did have a ball and you did do a great race. We had a lot of camera action with you and Ronald. We were talking about Ronald and Ronald half the night. Oftentimes, I couldn't tell if you were trying to get around him or if he was toying with you. But talk to us a little bit more about your adventures with Ronald.
Well, I knew that he wasn't pushing real hard. I had a faster truck there when I finally did get around him, but I was being real cautious.
All righty, bringing home second place position. How about it, Ronald Klein?
Yes, sir, Scott. How's it going, buddy?
You aren't excited or anything, are you?
Oh, I'm pumped up. I want to scream.
All righty, well, get it off your chest and talk to me, sir, because you came to the Monster Mile and you are a beast.
Thank you very much, Scott. I can't believe it. I was not looking for that caution to come out. I was gonna be happy, you know, with just the top 5. And when the caution came out, I noticed that the leaders didn't pit, and I was like, we're gonna have a couple of laps of green racing. I'm gonna go get new tires because there's no way I'll just dive bomb them. And unfortunately, Jason got into the wall coming out of 2, and I didn't get the race that I wanted, but I got the win. That, you know, and I don't want to say that's all that matters, but I finally got my first win in KMA. So
This was your first win.
this is my first official win in an official race.
Absolutely awesome. And I also wanted to give you a big shout out as a friend for the awesome PC. I am very much looking forward to looking at it on the broadcast. I'm looking at it right now, and I tell you what, it's almost like I'm there. It is that clear. So, Ronald Klein, RTK, friend of mine, big night for you, brother.
I appreciate it, Scott. Thank you to KMA Racing for putting on such a spectacular series. Thank you to all the KMA drivers who drove a very good race from my perspective. Especially Ronald Hartfield. He was very patient with me. I was trying to take care of my stuff, and a huge shout out to him, and heartbreak for Jason Russo.
All righty, we are going to wrap this up and get out of here. Good job, Ronald Klein.
Thanks, Scott.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to flash those race results, and we are going to work our way out of here. I am Scott Kolovic. This is KMA TV. Join us again on Friday as we do it again at Dover in the Gen 6 Cup Cars. We'll catch you on Friday night.